whispers of the wildwood. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and unknown blooms. Sunlight, feeble and pale, struggled to pierce the dense canopy above. Ancient trees, gnarled and twisted, clawed at the sky, their shadows like grasping talons. The group moved as one, a single entity treading upon sacred ground. Each step was measured, each breath held, every sense alert to the forest's hushed whispers. A twig snapped, sharp and sudden, and hearts pounded like war drums in the stillness that followed. The forest floor was a tapestry of moss and fallen leaves, damp and yielding beneath their feet. Eyes scanned the shadows, searching for movement, for any sign of the unseen dangers that lurked within the emerald gloom. The very air seemed to vibrate with an ancient energy, a power that hummed beneath the surface of things. The clearing and the hut. The trees thinned, revealing a circular clearing bathed in an ethereal light. It pulsed with an inner luminescence, as though lit from within the earth itself. In the center stood a crude hut, fashioned from mud and bone. Skulls adorned the entrance, a macabre collection of creatures both mundane and strange. A raven, its beak agape in a silent scream, perched atop a weathered human skull. Runes, their meaning lost to time, were etched into the rough-hewn door. The air within the clearing felt different, charged with an unseen power. It crackled with anticipation, sending shivers down spines. The group exchanged uneasy glances, a silent acknowledgement of the strangeness that permeated this place. The shaman's gaze. The door creaked open, revealing a figure shrouded in shadow. As he stepped into the unearthly light, his features resolved. He was ancient, his skin like weathered leather, his eyes burning with an inner fire. A headdress of feathers and bones crowned his head, each element a testament to a life intertwined with the wild. He wore robes of woven grasses and animal hides, adorned with talismans that clinked softly with his every movement. Power radiated from him, palpable and ancient. His voice, when he spoke, was a low rumble, echoing with the wisdom of ages. He spoke of trials ahead, of a path fraught with danger and shadowed by ancient evils. Their journey, he warned, would test the very core of their beings. The labyrinth's call. He offered them a drink, a viscous liquid that glowed with the same ethereal light as the clearing itself. It pulsed within a rough-hewn wooden bowl, its aroma a heady mix of herbs and something altogether otherworldly. To drink was to accept his words, to embrace the path laid before them. With a mixture of trepidation and grim determination, they drank. The liquid burned like fire as it slid down their throats, searing them from within. The world around them dissolved into a swirling vortex of color and sound. When their senses returned, they found themselves within a narrow passage, hewn from cold, unforgiving stone. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the weight of untold ages. They were within the labyrinth, the shaman's words echoing in their ears. The path is chosen. Let your journey begin. The jungle was alive. It breathed around them. Vines reached out like grasping claws. The air hung heavy and humid. The team pushed forward, hacking through the undergrowth. Each step was a battle against nature. The jungle was a labyrinth. Twisting paths led to dead ends. The sun, a hazy disk above, offered no guidance. They were lost in a sea of green. The jungle was relentless. It sapped their strength. It tested their resolve. But they were driven by a singular purpose. A hidden city lay at the heart of the jungle. A city whispered in ancient texts. A city they were determined to find. The path ahead was uncertain. Danger lurked around every corner, yet they pressed on. They had come too far to turn back. The promise of discovery spurred them forward. They were explorers, adventurers, driven by an insatiable thirst for the unknown. The jungle opened up. Before them, nestled in a valley, lay the city. It shimmered, a beacon of light amidst the emerald green. A collective gasp escaped the team. They had found it. The lost city, a place forgotten by time. The air hummed with energy. It felt ancient, powerful. The city beckoned them closer. Excitement warred with trepidation. They were on the verge of something extraordinary, something that would change everything. The city was a marvel of architecture. Towers scraped the sky. Buildings shimmered with an otherworldly glow. It was a sight that defied belief, a testament to a lost civilization, a civilization far ahead of its time. The magician emerged from the shadows. His eyes, ancient and wise, held a depth of knowledge. He held out his hand. In it lay a talisman. Crafted from wood, it was etched with strange symbols. The symbols pulsed with a faint light. The magician spoke, his voice a low rasp. "The talisman will guide you," he said. "It holds the key to the city's secrets. But beware, the jungle guards its own. You will face trials. You will be tested." His words hung in the air, heavy with warning. The team exchanged uneasy glances. They knew the risks. They had come prepared. But the magician's words sowed seeds of doubt. The jungle was a dangerous place, full of unseen dangers. And now they were about to face them head-on. They plunged back into the green maze. The talisman, warm against Suraj's chest, pulsed gently. Hope and fear warred within him. The jungle seemed to close in, the air thick with anticipation. The magician's words echoed in his mind, "You will face trials." Strange creatures unseen before darted through the undergrowth. Illusions played tricks on their minds. Cryptic clues etched on ancient stones blocked their path. The jungle was testing them, pushing them to their limits. Suraj closed his eyes. He focused on the talisman's warmth. A vision filled his mind. An ancient oak, its gnarled trunk carved with a symbol. The same symbol etched on the talisman. He knew where they had to go. The journey was fraught with danger. Doubt gnawed at their resolve, but they held on to hope. The hope that the lost city held answers. Answers to questions that had haunted humanity for millennia. The quest for knowledge, the thirst for discovery, fueled their determination. The hunt begins, setting off into the unknown. The Amazon, hot, humid, alive. Our goal, El Dorado, the lost city of gold. Legends whispered for centuries. We pushed through dense foliage. Each swing of the machete, a step closer to the myth. The air hung heavy, thick with anticipation. Our guide Miguel pointed. A carving on a moss-covered stone, a jaguar, the first sign. Excitement coursed through our veins. We were on the right track. The jungle held its breath, guarding its secrets. But we would uncover them, we had to. Jungle whispers. Following the trail of legends, days bled into nights. The jungle, a labyrinth of shadows and sounds. We followed ancient paths, reclaimed by nature, the jaguar carving. Then a sun symbol etched onto a broken pillar. We were close. Each step was a battle against exhaustion, against the relentless green. But the lure of El Dorado spurred us on. Miguel, his face etched with uncertainty, examined a worn carving. A map, we had found it. Hope surged, our pace quickened. The jungle seemed to part, leading us towards our destiny. The air thrummed with energy, with the whispers of the past. We were about to step into legend. City of Gold. A glimpse of the impossible. Then we saw it. Bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. El Dorado. Towers scraped the sky, shimmering. A city of gold, more magnificent than we could have imagined. Silence, eerie and absolute. The jungle held its breath. We stood awestruck, humbled by the sight before us. A sense of peace, of ancient wisdom, emanated from the city. Cautiously we approached. Golden statues lined the entrance, guardians of a forgotten time. Their eyes, empty sockets, seemed to follow our every move. The silence was deafening, broken only by the beating of our hearts. Whispers of the past, unraveling the secrets of El Dorado. We entered the city, our footsteps echoing in the stillness. The air was heavy with the weight of centuries. We reached a vast chamber. On the wall, a fresco. An epic tale unfolded before us. The rise of El Dorado, its people, their wisdom, their connection to nature, and then their disappearance. A story told not in words, but in colors that seemed to dance in the flickering light of our torches. The message was clear: respect. We were merely visitors, here to learn, not to plunder. The true treasure of El Dorado was not the gold, but the story it told. A story of a civilization lost, and lessons for our own. Deep within the Amazon rainforest, where the canopy is so thick that sunlight barely reaches the forest floor, our team stumbled upon an ancient temple, hidden away for centuries beneath layers of dense foliage and time. Its stone walls were weathered and overgrown with vines, telling tales of a forgotten era. The air hung heavy with humidity, and the sound of exotic birds echoed through the misty rainforest, creating an eerie yet enchanting atmosphere. I knew instantly that this place held secrets. Secrets that could change everything we knew about this land. We were searching for El Dorado, the legendary city of gold, a place that had eluded explorers for centuries. Could this temple be the key to unlocking that age-old mystery? We found out. meticulously searching for an entrance, each of us driven by the hope of discovery. Jake, our expert tracker, noticed something peculiar on one of the moss-covered stones, a detail that the rest of us had missed. It was a keyhole, intricately shaped like a sun symbol, hinting at its ancient significance. "This must be it," he exclaimed, brushing away the dirt with a sense of urgency and excitement. But what kind of key could unlock this ancient door? We pondered, each of us lost in thought. We searched high and low, examining every nook and cranny, but our efforts proved futile. The key remained elusive, hidden from our grasp. Frustration began to set in as the weight of our unfulfilled quest bore down on us. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows across the temple ruins. Time was running out, and the jungle was reclaiming its secrets. As darkness enveloped the jungle, we gathered around a flickering fire. Maya, our historian, studied her worn copy of ancient scriptures. "There's another symbol mentioned," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "A swirling vortex representing water. It speaks of a tear of hope unlocking the path." We looked at each other, confused. What did it mean? How could a tear unlock anything? Suddenly, a single tear rolled down Maya's cheek. She had been studying tirelessly, fueled by the hope of discovering El Dorado. As the tear splashed onto the dusty ground, a soft rumbling shook the temple. The ground where the tear landed began to crack and split. A hidden passage was revealed, leading down into the darkness below. The swirling vortex symbol was etched into the entrance. The water puzzle had been solved. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, we descended into the passage. The air grew cooler and damper as we ventured deeper into the earth. The passage opened up into a large chamber. In the center stood a pedestal, and upon it rested a single smooth stone. Carved into the stone was another symbol, a bird with vibrant flowing tail feathers. We recognized it instantly. A bird of paradise, a symbol of hope in many ancient cultures. But what did it mean? How could we use this symbol to unlock the secrets of the temple? We examined the chamber for clues, but found nothing. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of our own breathing. We were trapped. Section 4. The Final Door. Professor Stone's Insight. Professor Stone, our archaeologist, had been unusually quiet. He traced the outline of the bird of paradise symbol with his fingers, deep in thought. "Hope," he muttered. "The symbol represents hope, but hope for what?" His eyes darted around the chamber, finally settling on a large, ornately carved door on the far wall. It was completely bare, devoid of any markings or symbols. "What if," Professor Stone exclaimed, "the absence of hope is the key?" He approached the door and pressed his hand against its cold surface. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a low groan echoed through the chamber as the door slowly swung inward. Professor Stone's insight had been correct. Section 5. The Glowing Chamber. A treasure revealed. The door opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in the darkness above. Our headlamp struggled to penetrate the gloom. And then we saw it, a soft, ethereal glow emanating from the heart of the chamber. As we drew closer, the source of the light revealed itself. A magnificent golden statue, easily 20 feet tall, stood before us. Its intricate details sparkled in the soft light. Surrounding the statue were piles of gold coins, shimmering jewels, and ancient artifacts. We had found it, the legendary treasure of El Dorado. The air crackled with a strange energy. A magical spark seemed to dance in the air, leaving us breathless with awe. But our amazement was short-lived. Section 6. The Dark Room. A Mysterious Compass. A low rumbling sound echoed through the chamber, and the ground beneath our feet began to tremble. The air was thick with tension, and we could feel the ancient power of the temple awakening. Dust rained down from the ceiling as the room shook violently. It felt as if the very walls were closing in on us, threatening to bury us alive. We had disturbed the temple, and now it was fighting back. The ancient spirits seemed to be warning us, urging us to leave their sacred space. We stumbled back towards the entrance, desperate to escape the collapsing chamber. Every step felt like a battle against the unseen forces that sought to keep us trapped. But our path was blocked by a wall of solid rock that had slammed shut during the tremors. Trapped. Panic set in as we realized there was no way out. Then, Jake noticed a small dark opening in the wall, barely large enough to crawl through. It was our only hope. We squeezed through the opening one by one, desperate to escape the collapsing chamber. The narrow passage was suffocating, but we pushed forward. The passage led to a small, dusty room. It was a stark contrast to the chaos we had just escaped. In the center, resting on a stone pedestal, was a beautifully crafted wooden box. It seemed untouched by time, as if waiting for us. Inside, nestled on a bed of red velvet, lay a compass. Its intricate design hinted at its importance. But this was no ordinary compass. It seemed to hum with energy, drawing us in. Its needle spun wildly, pulsating with an inner light. This was magic. We knew we had found something extraordinary, something that could change everything. Section 7. Escape from the temple. The quest for El Dorado. The journey had been long and arduous, but we were finally at the threshold of the legendary city. The air crackled with energy as the compass needle spun, finally settling on a direction. North. It was as if the compass itself was alive, guiding us with an unseen force. We knew instinctively that this compass held the key to finding El Dorado. Our hearts raced with anticipation and a sense of destiny. But we had no time to dwell on its mysteries. The temple was a maze of traps and puzzles, each more dangerous than the last. The temple was collapsing around us. Every second counted as the ancient structure gave way. We navigated a labyrinth of crumbling corridors, the magical compass our only guide. Its glow was our beacon in the darkness. The air grew thick with dust and the stench of decay. It was a race against time and the elements. Finally, we emerged from the crumbling temple into the sunlight. We had escaped. The fresh air was a welcome relief. Exhausted but exhilarated, we gathered ourselves. The ordeal had tested our limits, but we were stronger for it. We had faced incredible dangers and witnessed wonders beyond imagination. Each step had brought us closer to our goal, but our journey was far from over. The path ahead was still fraught with unknown challenges. We held in our hands the key to finding El Dorado. The compass was more than a tool, it was our hope. The magical compass pointed the way. Its needle was unwavering, a constant in our uncertain journey. Our adventure was just beginning. With renewed determination, we set off into the jungle, ready to uncover the secrets of El Dorado.